We're getting right to that Fox News alert for you now. Justice will be served to ISIS. Those words from President Obama on the eve of a crucial NATO meeting. This, as the White House confirms, a second American journalist has been killed by the terror group. Peter Ducey is live in Washington with the latest. Peter, what else is the president saying at this point?
Elizabeth, this morning, President Obama tried to strike a tone that showed both sympathy and strength. Now that the U.S. intel community has determined the video of 31-year-old Steven Sotloff's beheading is authentic, the president offered condolences to Sotloff's mother, father, and younger sister, and then he issued a warning to the ISIS militants responsible for this brutal murder.
We will not be intimidated. Their horrific acts only unite us as a country and stiffen our resolve to take the fight against these terrorists. And those who make the mistake of harming Americans will learn that we will not forget and that our reach is long and that justice will be served.
In promising justice, the president didn't offer specifics, instead broadly saying there will be an international and regional response, telling reporters first that ISIS must be degraded and destroyed before explaining he thinks ISIS must be turned into a manageable problem. Back to you in New York.
All right, Peter, we thank you very much. Let's turn to Laura Ingraham. She's down in our nation's capital as well. Good morning to you, Laura.
Good morning, guys. Good to see you.
Well, Peter just set it up. The president tried to strike a tone between sympathy toward the family and strength as well. But to the people on the left, many of them love it because they go, you know, unlike that last guy, this guy is being real cautious. Is that what we need right now?
Oh, well, Dianne Feinstein, a couple of days ago said maybe he's being a little too cautious here. And look, he fancies himself as the anti-war president. He's the anti-Bush. He's 180 degrees different in his approach, and I think we all see that now. But when you hear the president talking about destroy and degrade, that makes sense.
Yep.
When you hear the president talking about managing the problem, that doesn't make sense. I mean, we manage all sorts of problems in our daily lives. This is not a manageable problem. This is a force that is evil. It would be nice if the president actually used the word evil. If he said it, I didn't hear it this morning. An evil force that is raping children, that is torturing little boys and girls, that is seeking to establish a global caliphate and infiltrate the United States of America through our very porous borders. So the president needs to have the same type of resolve that I think we as individuals have when we see and read the truth about what the Islamic State desires, which is a world way beyond Iraq and Syria, and it must be destroyed. Each and every one of them needs to be killed and stopped. A manageable problem, containable problem. I don't like that language at all, and I think that, again, fuzzes up the situation beyond what we need it to be right now.
Well, I think what you're alluding to is that it's disturbing to not have clear language. You know, ISIS's language is clear. Their mission seems to be pretty clear. The president seems to be at a war of words with himself. You know, I want you to listen to this exchange because the State Department has the issue as well. It seems to be contagious. They can't spit out the fact that we are or are not at war with ISIS. Take a listen.
Why does our president or our Secretary of State not recognize that and say, indeed, we are at war with this group and we will destroy them?
Well, I think, first of all, James, our actions speak for our commitment to this. And the president has authorized more than 100 strikes in Iraq, as has been confirmed by the Department of Defense. Any American sitting at home should sit and look at the actions that we're taking. I don't think it's a useful exercise to go back and forth about new terms.
Yeah, and Jen Psaki also should know that the Pentagon has said the actions we're taking are really not going to affect the behavior of ISIS. We're waiting for a go-ahead. The one thing I would say, even from his staunchest supporter, Laura, has to be there just doesn't seem to be any urgency. When I get there, I'll put together a coalition, and then soon we'll have a strategy, and then after all, eventually we're going to contain, and then soon we're going to educate. There just doesn't seem any urgency here.
Yeah, didn't we make a joke about Bruce Springsteen this morning?
To start?
Or there was some, look, we all understand what's going on. There's going to be a debate about what type of action America takes, the extent of the congressional approval if necessary. That's all fine. I get that. I really do, especially after Iraq and Afghanistan. Public support for those efforts cratered. But now we have something very different that we're facing. We are facing a threat not only to the religious minorities on the ground and the regional stability. We are facing a threat to the United States of America.
Absolutely.
And we have people crossing into our border dressed up like Osama bin Laden, okay? The James O'Keefe video. We have people who can just walk across our borders right now. We do not need another American city in flames, and I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I'm trying to be just common sense here. We do not need another American city in flames before we wake up to what this threat is. The president, I think, this is all political, right? When he wants to be tough, he's tough on the Tea Party. He's tough on the war on women. He gets involved in the Sandra Fluke controversy. He'll talk about, things like Trayvon Martin or Ferguson maybe. But on this issue, he's very hesitant because his political base really doesn't want to be involved in a war that conservatives support or neoconservatives support or the Tea Party supports. They're very, very uncomfortable with that. They don't like it. And it's obvious in their actions. I think the Pentagon and the White House, they're kind of in a topsy-turvy with each other right now. I think that relationship is very frayed.
It's on the rocks.
Well, love is gone.
To the point where James Rosen was trying to fish out of Jen Psaki that we are at war with ISIS. You made it clear it's a political thing. Well, the Pentagon is not a political wing of the White House. They would admit that it's war on ISIS, won't they? Well, listen to this, Laura. Here's Pentagon spokesperson Admiral Kirby just about an hour ago on this program. You're saying the Pentagon, one of the goals is to destroy it. We're at war with ISIS, aren't we?
Well, we're certainly combating them. There's no question about that. I mean, we're hitting them every day.
Would you say America is at war with ISIS?
Well, look, I mean, war is one of those very hypercharged words.
Are they at war with us, Admiral?
They are certainly at war with everything we stand for.
Right. It's pretty much a yes or no question, and he's reluctant as well because his boss is the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense from Kirby, right, that he knows what time it is, and he's kind of in this role. I would not want to be him, having to be the spokesman for the Pentagon with our current commander-in-chief, at least right at this moment. He's very uncomfortable. Clearly, he's gotten the word from the White House. Watch your words, watch your language. We don't want to necessarily, provoke these people. We've got to manage the problem. One day it's a cancer. The next day we're going to serve justice on these people. I don't like the word justice, okay? Justice is for criminal activity.
Right.
This is not justice. They are at war with us. We might not want to admit it. We might want to stick our heads in the sand. We might think that we're only at war domestically against those evil conservatives or Christian conservatives. They are at war with us. How we react, well, we have a commander-in-chief and a president, and we'll see if he gets all that international support that he wants for his own air cover.
Take his time. He'll eventually get to NATO. The most important conference you could argue in 65 years of existence is going to take place in the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, there's one congressman who doesn't see ISIS as the main enemy, sees Republicans. Here's his tweet. The greatest country on earth is being bullied from within. Actions of Republicans in Congress are worse than ISIL. That's J.T. Smith, who, by the way, is a veteran himself out of Alabama. What are your thoughts about
Alabama?
Yeah. Out of those comments.
Yeah, well, look, I wrote a talking points memo on this a couple of weeks ago when I was filling in for O'Reilly. I'm actually glad he said that, because I think that's what a lot of folks on the left, not all of them, but a lot of them think. I mean, when they think of the real threats to the United States of America, right? They think of all those people who don't think Obamacare should get involved with contraception. They think anyone who stands up for traditional marriage, that's an evil person. Anyone who doesn't recycle or believe in global warming, that's a really evil person, right?
Vacuuming now, you can't vacuum.
Yeah, they're horrible people. But ISIL, well, we can manage that problem. I mean, so he's actually just giving voice to what most on the left think, that America is threatened by the very people who stand up for American values as we understand them. And so that's what time it, I mean, again, I'm glad he said it. A lot of them won't say it. But remember, when Obama had his own war room, right? It was in 2008 when he ran the first time, and in 2012. They know how to win when they want to win. But for them, it's political wins that really matter in the end, I think.
And Laura, nice job filling in for Bill last night.
Sure.
And
it was fun.
Glad for the quick turnaround tonight with us.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate that, Laura. Well done.
All right, it's